vastness of the stars we roam. Obsidian fleet, our simming home. With stories untold, adventures so grand. Together we journey through space's expanse. Join the fleet where dreams take flight. In the darkness of space, we find our light. A community strong, in unity we stand. Obsidian fleet, hand in hand. From distant worlds to the final frontier, our imaginations bold and clear. With pen and heart, we craft our tales. In this universe, our spirit prevails. Collaborate, create, and share. In the fleet, we find friends who care. Task forces strong, united we rise. Under the endless starry skies. Join the fleet where dreams take flight. In the darkness of space, we find our light. A community strong, in unity we stand. Obsidian fleet, hand in hand. So come aboard, let your journey start. With Obsidian fleet, you'll find your heart. In the tapestry of stars, our stories weave. In Obsidian fleet, we believe.
Alright, and welcome to another episode of Spotlight, where I coax writers to come and have a chat about their posts. And today, we've got an extra special guest, because he's Obsidian Fleet's Character of the Year 2024 award winner. It's Lert! Hey, you alright?
Surviving. You know what it is. Good evening, everyone.
Also, congratulations, and thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much, and you're welcome. You drug me in here kicking and screaming, so...
I don't know how I managed to get the elusive Lert in, and I'll never tell anyone how.
Yeah, my bank account is... I'm monitoring my bank account.
Everyone knows I'm skint, so they'll not believe that.
You are now.
Yeah, true. But,
No, just kidding. It's an honor to be on here.
Oh, it's basically, I just want to give everyone a fair whack at talking about what makes them love writing and hopefully get more people into it. So I got to thank people for coming on, because it's not an easy thing coming on camera and just talking for most people.
This is true.
But yeah, Core was our last guest, or the guest before, I'm not sure, because I don't know what order these come out in. But I know you've been writing with him on different games for years. How did you get your start? Originally, what's got you interested in writing on games?
I've always liked the idea of online roleplay, of typing out my creative thoughts, and I used to do a lot of IRC roleplay. And
Right.
from that, the step to online roleplay in the Star Trek sim was easily made, because that was an itch that medieval fantasy in roleplay on IRC didn't scratch. So I
Yeah.
started looking for online Star Trek sims, and that's how I found Obsidian Fleet, how I found the sim, and how I met Emu, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was on one of them.
Yeah. Baby emu back then.
No, I was like 21 years younger than I am now as well.
Oh, but we'll not say that. I mean, you're only, what, 23?
Yeah, I'm 23 with 25 years of experience.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll go with that. So, so basically, how you mentioned that the Star Trek Sims like scratched an itch that you didn't get with the medieval roleplay stuff. Um, is that what motivates you to write? Finding a passion like Star Trek or X-Men and then just going with it?
At first, yes, but then I grew up and matured a little, and now it's just an outlet for creativity, for things that are more difficult to express in normal words or that don't come up in normal conversation. I like
Right?
writing those. Like you've seen my characters; they've got some pretty extreme views on politics and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's what lives deep inside me, and that's what I express through my characters, through my roleplay.
yeah. So, would you say that's what like motivates you to write? Like, do you have a cause and you be like, oh, I want to talk about that. I'll make a post about it, or integrate it into my character arc at the minute.
Not specifically. I tend to make my characters with little RP hooks, like how Alistair has a cool car and is a metal musician
Yeah.
and turns into a bird, and how Maggie has owl features and makes coffee that she calls potions and is a night janitor. Those are RP hooks, as I call them. Those are things for people to latch on to and to write about. And those are the start for creative wanderings. You know, posts get started, and if there's sufficient chemistry between the characters, the role play happens, and the interesting things just happen without needing to plan them.
Ah, that's fair enough. Um, and do you have any tips for writer's block?
No, no, I do not. The way I deal with it is I get inspiration from things I watch or music I listen to or other hobbies of mine, and I just try to adjust that into the writing, but that works for me. I know that that doesn't work for everyone.
No,
And
it's a very personal thing. I think I was just curious to know what you personally use to get over that hump where you're like, oh, I don't know what to write, or I don't have any motivation to do anything. If there was something that you specifically did to be like, right, come on, let's get a keyboard on, computer on, start typing.
well, you might have noticed that music is a very important motivator for Alistair.
Yeah, yeah,
So
but
there's a lot of good music out there that says things that are also difficult to put into words
yeah,
and express feelings and emotions, and that's part of why Alistair works so well for me, because those things are still very important and need to be said.
yeah. Go
And
action.
fortunately, someone else already said them. I can just write that into my post.
Well, actually, as long as I've known you on the Discord, you've been introducing me to some amazing metal bands that have made it onto my Spotify list. So, in relation to
I
that,
am I am so very sorry for that.
no, it's absolutely fine. My girlfriend might think otherwise, though. But I thought we could play a game related to that. So, do you know when you see
Oh boy.
black metal band logos and how very clear, concise, and easy to read they are?
And how they all look like a bundle of sticks someone picked up from the woods with a black and
Exactly.
white filter over them. Yeah.
Well, that's why I thought we would play. Is that really a metal band logo?
Oh boy.
So, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you three pictures that I found on the internet. And you've got to guess if it's a metal band or something else. Bear in mind, I haven't listened to any of these bands, and I got it from a list of hard to read logos. So if you don't get it, that's absolutely fine. But here's slide one.
That's a band. I can't read it. I think it's Blood Bad or something. I don't know.
Oh man, you're too good at this.
Bloodbath.
It is Bloodbath.
I look for symmetry.
Yeah. Oh, I think you're going to be too good at these. You might be 3 for 3, but I might be speaking too soon. So question 2.
Oh, that's definitely a band. I don't know what it says. Nardroth or something?
It is a band. Norgarath.
I was close.
Yeah.
It's a
And
good name, though. It's a good name.
yeah. And the third slide.
That's a little something from a tree. Those are sticks.
Damn. How are you getting them all? A picture of some roots I found. Oh, I did have a picture of an actual root system just that someone took, but it was too colourful. It had a bit of green in. I thought, oh, you'll get it straight away, but I can't. Obviously, 3 for 3. I cannot fool you.
Well, I've been into metal for 33 years now.
Yeah.
Longer than half of how long I've been alive.
Well, anyway, since you've just completely decimated me game, I think you're the highest scoring person that's ever came on.
How many people have you played this game with?
One, two, I think you're the 4th, and I think
Okay.
the highest they've got is 1 point. So I'm just gonna say you're better than all of them.
At a very specific, non-marketable skill. Yes.
Well, you can put it on your resume if you want to do.
That would imply me looking for another job again.
Well, for bragging rights, isn't it?
Fair.
Right. So today we're not going to be talking about your award-winning character, Alistair, mainly because I got the wrong end of the stick and picked one of the posts you sent over. So we're going to be looking at a post called Sneaking Suspicion, where you write a mutant that has owl-like features called, and I'm going to butcher this, Magali Isabear.
Magali Isabart.
Isabat. Magali Isabat. Is that...
Yeah, Magali is Wallonian Belgian. It's a French name. And Isabart
Right.
is a more Dutch name. She's from Belgium, and they speak both languages there.
See, I'm from the north of England, and we barely speak English, so never mind French or any other language, so I'll struggle with it. I'll try, though. But I'll dive right into the post summary and then we can talk about it. And as always, the link should be down below in the description so you can come and read along as well. So let us know what you think.
At least you didn't call her Icebeard.
I was thinking about it. I didn't know if I'd offend you though.
Icebeard is a good name for a Viking warrior, not for a knight janitor.
That looks like that has owl-like features. I don't know. But in the chapter Sneaking Suspicion, set in the Avalon Institute on a cold evening in February 1993, Winifred Pocklington, a slightly out-of-touch older teacher, find themselves exploring the grounds of the school. While passing the groundskeeper's shed, he unexpectedly encounters Magali Maggie. Isabat, yes, sorry about that. A caretaker and custodian at the school. As they converse, Winifred expresses his disappointment with the lack of intrigue at the school and shares rumours about secret lairs and experimental planes that the students gossip about. Maggie dismisses these rumours, but they soon engage in a deeper conversation about historical myths and mutants, with Winifred mentioning the legend of witch blood, which ties into the castle's past. As the two talk, the topic shifts to perceptions of fear, safety, especially regarding the people with unique abilities. Maggie subtly changes Winifred's assumptions, ultimately using a menacing gesture with a spanner to make a point about how people, including herself, act defensively based on perceived threats. The conversation grows tense as Winifred is unable to appreciate Maggie's perspective, becomes condescending and dismissive. Ultimately, they part ways, with Maggie expressing hope that Winifred will learn empathy in the future.
I
So,
like how you described her picking up a spanner as subtly challenging him.
I thought it was. Is that not what you were going for?
She wasn't very subtle. I mean, her point was, it wasn't actually spoken in the post,
Yeah.
her actual point. But yeah, that amused me. The whole post did.
I don't know, because if you're in a shed with loads of parts about and you kind of like ugh, with a spanner, I don't know. I think there's the threat, but with her having the spanner, it was more subtle. I don't know. I don't know. I
It
think
was
I'm.
it was a fun post, and both characters had points they tried to make that perhaps didn't land well at the other side.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it end. Anyway, sorry. I'll talk about. What made you nominated this post, and what do you like about it?
I nominated it because I very much enjoyed liking it and because it showed the character very well. Even to me, as the person writing her, it showed a
Hmm.
side of her that I did not necessarily expect her to have, which sounds funny coming from the person who invented her.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how characters go. A good character writes themselves. I'm just along to write up the damage report.
Oh, that's fair. How long does it actually take you to write a post? Would you say, like on average? I know you could vary from an in-depth post or if it's just like a reply post, but
That depends on the person I'm writing with and on the chemistry in the post itself, how naturally it flows. Uh, there's been times, like years ago, when I wrote with Core, we would, yeet out a post over 2 evenings, and it would win Obsidian Post of the Month, Obsidian Fleet Post of the Month. That happened more
yeah,
than a few times.
right,
And other times a post can take weeks, but with the right writer, with the right chemistry, like even recently on Avalon, I'm gonna write with Serrani. Congratulations to her as well for winning Writer of the Year.
yeah,
Uh, we have typed out 3 or 4 part posts approaching 9,000 words in like a week or a week and a half.
yeah, yeah.
But that's exceptional.
Would you say that's because you're like compatible as writers or as people or both?
Compatible as writers and compatible characters with chemistry, and the post just flows. Like
Yeah.
what I said earlier is true. A good character writes itself. I'm just along to write up the damage report.
Mhm.
But sometimes that doesn't happen, and that's when writing takes longer, when I have to put actual more thought into it. Like Magali in the post with Winifred, Wignifred Procklington, what a name.
Yeah.
With Buckles, uh, that wrote itself. She surprised me there when she picked up the spanner. That felt natural for her to do, and I just wrote it, and it surprised me that that is what she would do.
Right. Also, you didn't plan that at all. It was just you just typed it and then you're like, right, that happened though.
Yeah, the whole post was unplanned. Emu sent me a starter without even negotiating with me, so I just found it in my inbox. I was like, oh, hey, I can do something with this,
Yeah.
and the post just went from there.
Oh, right. Um. So there was no, because I know there's a lot of tension between Maggie and Winifred because they're both like feeling each other out. I would say. Would you agree?
Yeah, yeah, both are people very strongly convinced of their own point of view,
Yeah.
and both wear their opinion on their sleeves or don't wear their opinion on the sleeves, whatever, however the saying goes. And it went naturally from there. This is one of the posts I nominated this post among the 3 others because this post just naturally fell into place for me, and that's a wonderful feeling when that happens.
Yeah. So how did you keep the tension up in the post? Because it's all throughout, beginning to end, even to just going around, going into the shed, and then the actual meeting, and then through the dialogue and the back and forth, there's tension definitely there.
That happened organically. It's nothing about this post was planned. It was just it happened as it did, and I'm not sure if Winifred surprised Emu, how naturally it felt for him. But for me, writing Maggie and her responses just felt completely natural. She's very outspoken. She's
Right.
also brutally intelligent, much more so than I am, which is not easy to write. And she doesn't mince words. So
Yeah.
it's the tension just developed naturally in two people who both have very strong views of the world and are not afraid to speak them. Tension happens.
Yeah.
That's just how
Yeah.
it goes.
So how did you come up with the witch blood reference as well?
You'll have to ask Emu about that. Winifred mentioned it, and Magali didn't know about it. I didn't know about it,
Right.
and Winifred changed the subject. But you note that Maggie steered back to the witch blood, to the Laird and the witch blood,
Yeah.
because I was fascinated by that, and I knew that he dropped it as an RP hook, so I wanted to lean into that and see where that went.
So was I, because I heard it and I was like, is that true? And I had a little Google. Obviously, it won't be true about the Avalon being a sanctuary and stuff, but yeah, I really like that plot point. But
I haven't I haven't researched or googled it, but knowing Emu, he doesn't put anything in his posts without some reference or research or historical reference or whatever. So there must be something to it, especially because he likes threads linking to the real world.
yeah, like what is it? The guy who sang "Achy Breaky Hearts" died in this world as well.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, what's he called? Miley Cyrus's dad, Billy Ray
Yeah,
Cyrus.
I don't particularly like him or agree with him or think he deserves much talking about. So
That's absolutely fine. He's deed. So you mentioned that it was totally organic, because I was gonna ask what the process was like approaching writing this scene with Emu from a structural standpoint. Did you come with did you start off with a conclusion to the post? Because it kind of ends in a stalemate where no one's opinion was changed or anything like that. And then work backwards. But are you saying it just went naturally to there?
yeah, I wouldn't expect anyone's opinion to be changed either, because, like I said, they're both very much rooted into in their own view of the world.
Yeah,
Winifred as a very conservative older man, and Maggie as a mutant who wears her mutation on the outside, without having actual powers other than some dark vision.
yeah. And she can fix a tractor.
Yeah, but that's because she grew up on a farm, and that's just, tinkering with stuff is just what you learn on a farm.
Hey, so I know people that grew up on a farm and are absolutely useless.
Well, that's more on them, I think.
I know. But
Well, she has some natural affinity for machines, that's for sure.
yeah, because
But that's not a result of her mutation. That's just because she is who she is, and because I like machines, so she likes machines.
yeah, I've noticed that you like machines with like Alistair and his car, and you've talked about other characters as well in mechs and stuff like that. Do you kind of self-insert your passions into your characters?
Every character is an extension of a part of me. That's why I
Right.
find it so difficult to write characters with very differing worldviews from me. I think Almaz is the closest to a possible villain character that I write. She
Right.
has that she has that potential, but that's not because she's evil per se, but that's because she is very, how do I say? She was raised to be very militant and strong in her beliefs, and she believes some very extreme things.
Yeah.
that are based on similar beliefs as what to Alistair and Maggie believe, just more extreme.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got, but yeah, every character I write is an extension of me in a way. That's how I view
Some
characters.
aspect of it anyway.
That's how I view characters, as an exploration of elements of myself that I find more difficult to express. Being on the spectrum, emotions are difficult to express, and words are a challenge from time to time. So when I speak those words through another, they become easier.
Yeah. So
That's
it's genuinely an outlet for you doing these things.
It's part of why I like music as well so much, because many things that are difficult to say have been said to melody by others.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, I think that is my list of questions exhausted for that post. I just want to thank you again for coming on and talking about it as well.
You're very welcome.
Is there anything that you want to plug or talk about?
Yeah, everyone should join Avalon and overwhelm Emu with applications so that he doesn't know what to do with all the characters.
Yeah, you keep badgering me and asking me when I'm making my character. But
that's because you sat on the Discord for like a year without ever writing a post.
Yeah, that's why I'm known as the local fauna. Flora and fauna.
Remember that I know better where you live now, and I've got weapons here on the wall.
True. I don't know if you'd be able to hit us though for that far. I'm little, you know. It'd have to be a good shot.
Yeah, I can't throw that well, so.
Oh, well, I've got that going for us at least.
Yeah, but no, Avalon is a nice sim. It's a good sim. There's good people there and me. So, people can join.
You're good people as well. I mean, I joined and I'm just a pest and everyone's really welcoming, accommodating. And if I genuinely went just in that general Discord chat and said, oh, I want to make a character, I'm struggling with this, I'm sure that I would get numerous people trying to help us. And they just want other writers to write with, really.
Well, it would be inappropriate for people to be unwelcoming on a sim that is based on being welcoming.
I know, but it just puts. I don't know. I was surprised at how friendly actually everyone is and how people get along talking to each other. Because there's no like arseholes in there.
Yeah, it's a good group.
But anyway, that's all I have for the post. And thanks very much for joining us. Love you. Bye. Oh, sorry.
You are very welcome, and it was an honor being here.
Don't be daft. You can go. Honestly, if you can come on anytime, we can do another one where we talk about Alistair as well. Yeah, award-winning character.
We could. But you have to look further than the first post and nominate for that.
Oh, well, I'll look up more than one. But yeah.
Okay, it was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me.
Oh, cheers. Well, thanks everyone. Bye.
In the vastness of the stars we roam, Obsidian fleet, our simming home, with stories untold, adventures so grand. Together we journey through space's expanse. Join the fleet where dreams take flight. In the darkness of space we find our light. A community strong, in unity we stand. Obsidian fleet, hand in hand. From distant worlds to the final frontier, our imaginations bold and clear. With pen and heart we craft our tales. In this universe our spirit prevails. Collaborate, create and share. care. Task force is strong, united we rise under the endless starry skies. Join the fleet where dreams take flight. In the darkness of space we find our light. A community strong, in unity we stand. Obsidian fleet, hand in hand. So come aboard, let your journey start. With Obsidian fleet you'll find your part. In the tapestry of stars our stories weave. In Obsidian